I apologize, I forget when I actually posted that. That's the last photo that we know we have of Harley or any contact with Harley. Today, go ahead. Yesterday at Christmas, we arranged this extensive search. We have Ohio BCI, U.S. Marshal's Office. We have numerous search and rescue teams from in Ohio and outside of Kentucky that are here. The Ohio State Highway Patrol, the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office, Port Clinton Fire, and of course all our officers were ordered in today that are still in state. We have 150 acres that we have to search. We are searching as if Harley is still alive. We are using live find dogs. By what I mean live find dogs, they don't bite the people they're looking for. They're not like patrol dogs that most agencies use. So these are live find dogs, so they will go up and be petted, whatever. And unfortunately, with the live find dogs, we also have cadaver dogs. We're not ruling out, but Harley is out there. Harley, if you're listening to this, just come home. You're not in any trouble. We just want to reunite you with Mom and Dad. I got limited questions I can answer, but let me know when you are ready.
We noticed a helicopter flying overhead nearby. Is that the area that you guys are concentrated in? Can you tell us what those streets might be, where you're looking?
We're looking right now east of Fulton Street. That's where we've got it blocked off to keep everybody out. We are looking at 150 acres. It's both wooded and farmland. Again, we're not sure where Harley's at because the only thing we've got is the photo that I released. The last person to see Harley, I guess, was us on that video footage. Ohio BCI, Mom and Dad are cooperating fully. They have been since they reported it. Their agents are currently talking to Mom and Dad right now. We've searched the house. We've got no hits at the house with the cadaver dogs at this time. So we're branching out with the live find dogs and with the cadaver dogs.
Any reason to suspect that he ran away?
All I can tell you is that in the past, when they have a conflict in the residence, Harley will go away for the night. The first night was not uncommon for Harley to not be there. He had broke his phone about a week ago, so they weren't concerned that he did not call because he didn't have a phone. They became concerned Saturday night after they returned home and he still was not home.
Why hasn't there been an Amber Alert?
The Amber Alert is specific. The fact that we do not have any report of him being abducted or a vehicle mentioned. BCI reached out to me, I want to say Monday. Whenever I put the post up missing and endangered, he fit that criteria. And that started, I think I went up about 9 o'clock in the morning. I was talking to their person at, I want to say 7 o'clock in the morning. For the people on Facebook, our community, we appreciate all the help, all the tips. We are following them up when they come in. Next question.
At this point, do you believe he left of his own will, it sounds like?
On the video, he left of his own free will between the hours of 6 and 7.
But no reason why you guys can determine just yet?
Not at this point. And talking to the friends, no one has heard from Harley other than Mom that morning when he was going to school because he wasn't feeling well. And she said, no, you'll go to school. This is your last day.
Is there something about the area you're searching now that drew you there?
It's Harley's residence is there. Of course, 150 acres. So we want to narrow that out. We want to eliminate that area in case he's out there hiding. If a friend's putting him up, we don't have a lot of leads. I wish I could give you everything you're asking, but we're kind of like at a standstill now, and I wish I could be more positive, but I can't.
So at this point, you don't believe this is an abduction?
Not at this point. There's nothing that we've viewed or nobody that we've talked to that would even lead to that. We're not ruling it out, but there's nothing that's pointing in that direction either.
Have you had dealings with the family in the past?
We've had a couple calls there. Harley was upset over an incident that happened at home. We were involved, and other than that, that's about it.
Was that fairly recently?
Approximately a month ago.
Does Harley have any history of mental illness or depression or anything you could share with us?
Nothing that I can share with you at this time.
What can the public do to help you all bring him home?
We've got pictures out there. Harley will not warm up to anybody that will approach him. All I can ask that if the public sees Harley, call whatever agency, call 911 and get law enforcement or somebody involved, because he will not warm up to you. He's got to warm up to you before he will even look at you. So.
Is Harley, does he have the same, I mean, he's 14 years old, you're saying that you don't think this is an abduction at this point. From your previous dealings with him, how do you know his temperament with other people, like you were saying?
Through our school resource officers, the school administration, mom, dad, and his friends.
Has he run away in the past?
All I can tell you is his typical behavior. If something is not right at home, he will not come home that night and come home the next day.
Do the parents know where he was when he would stay away?
The parents, he has a couple friends in towns that he goes to visit. We've talked to both parents and his friends, and the only person outside of the video coverage is we have a resident, one of his friends, his father talked to him at 7 o'clock Thursday night, and he was told to go home, and the video coverage shows him going home about 7:24.
Any reason to believe he's out of state?
He has a sister that lives out of state. We've been in touch with the authorities there. They've went and spoke to the sister. The sister has allowed them to check the residence. There's nothing there that would lead him to believe that he has made it to his sister's. That's about all I can release right now.
Is there an indication he may have been trying to get to the sisters?
No, there's not.
Does he have access to debit cards, credit cards, anything like that that would give him a pool of money?
At this point, nothing is missing from the house, credit cards or money. So I guess my answer is no, that not that we know of, but we have limited knowledge at this point.
What is it specifically that makes you believe he could be in danger?
The fact that he's 14 years old, Friday morning when he left the house, it was approximately 18 degrees, depending on which channel you look at. And they keep mentioning this puffer jacket, that puffy jacket. The coverage, I know it's grainy. It looks like he has a hoodie on, but again, video coverage is only as good as we can see. He may have the puffy jacket on over top of that or underneath it. The fact that he's 14 and hasn't reached out to anybody, we're erring on the side of caution.
In talking to the parents, do they have a message that they would like to share via you, that you can share with us?
Basically, Harley, you're not in trouble. You need to come home so we can get this past us, and we'll deal with it when you come home. Bud, you're not in trouble. Just come home. If you're near a phone, you're near a residence, knock on the door, tell them to call the authorities, and we'll get you back with mom and dad. And grandpa and grandma are up from Florida, and they want you there too. So just reach out, Harley. That's all we can say.
You said this has happened before. Harley would not come home if things were bad at home. Can you say any more on that or any of those previous incidences?
We're learning that from the parents. We did not have any calls of that. This is an ongoing investigation. Like I said, they're cooperating right now. We're trying to narrow down how often this happens, what leads up to this happening. So,
Was there any disagreement with the parents other than I'm not feeling well, yes, you're going to school?
That's it.
And what time was that Friday morning?
Between the hours of 6 and 7.
Did the issue what you guys showed at his house a month ago, was that something involving him and his parents, or was it his parents and his parents?
He got a piece of electronics equipment taken away from him, and that was taken away from him, and he didn't think it should be.
So he was the person that called police in that instance?
No.
Was there anything physical there?
The parents called, and we just had to calm Harley down.
Does Harley have any learning disabilities? We touched on the, we can't talk about if there might be any mental disabilities, but does he have any learning disabilities that might be pertinent to, we talked about how he doesn't warm up to people right away, but.
Again, I'm not going to release any details regarding that.
How much is this community really hoping for the best in all of this?
I entirely think if you get past the Facebook that thinks we're not doing our job, the community, we're 6,200 in the wintertime. I don't know if you remember the Devin Coleman case. This community's outpouring and love for its community is undescribable. So they want to help. All we're asking right now is, while this search is being conducted, if you see him, call us. But a lot of stuff we can't get to because all of our officers are involved with the search. We have 2 helicopters, one from United States Customs and Border Protection, the Ohio State Highway Patrol in the air right now, and we probably have 75 bodies on the ground during this search from the agencies I mentioned before.
Who made the decision, you said BCI was assisting?
Yes.
Who made the decision to bring them in?
Detective Ronald Timmons is our lead investigator on this case, and once we got through the video to make sure there wasn't any new leads that we needed to discuss. We started formulating this plan probably Christmas Eve at about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Are average citizens here helping in the search as well? Are you calling for that or not?
They arranged, our citizens took it upon themselves, and I appreciate it, to form their own search party on Monday. We didn't have enough because all our officers were reviewing video. We had a couple officers that assisted them. The big thing right now, we ask that you stay out of the area and let us do our job. And I'll release what I can when I can. I'm sure we'll have another one yet today because this has just started. The briefing started at 11 for the agencies involved today. And I'm not even sure, I know this started at 1:15, I believe. So I'm asking, I've got to go back out to Incident Command, and 3 o'clock work for everybody? Okay.
Incident command at the family's home in that area?
Incident Command, I know there was a couple that showed up. That is not, Incident Command's within the search area, within the 150 acres. We're actually at our service department at 33 Park Drive.
What time did you start searching today?
We, without looking at the radio log, we went to the house first, and I'm wanting to say it was around 11:30 this morning. And I know we started the ground search probably around 1:45.
Can you go over the agencies one more time that are assisting? There are a lot of them. Sorry.
Okay, Ohio BCI, the United States Marshal Service, Ohio State Highway Patrol, the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office, Port Clinton Fire Department, and of course our department, Port Clinton EMS, Port Clinton Fire and Rescue. And if I miss anybody, it's not intentional. U.S. Border Patrol. We both have manpower from State Patrol and their helicopter, and manpower from United States Border and Customs Protection, plus their helicopter.
Do you expect to be able to get through all 150 acres today, or is this something that's going to continue
Absolutely.
into tomorrow?
Absolutely. We're going to get through it today. If we have to call more dogs in, I've got a couple of search and rescue groups on standby in case we need dogs. Right now, I can tell you we have approximately about 12 canine teams. A couple of those are patrol dogs, and they're only being used to help with the cadaver dogs and the live find dogs, because they're dog handlers. They're not going to be watching the dogs. They're going to be out actually being eyes for the search team.
Has the school mentioned anything else about what his life at school was like?
Harley was a likable student. You can see that in the video. He had friends he talked to. Was a normal 14-year-old kid.
Is there any reason to believe that he may have been bullied at all?
SRO is exploring those avenues, so I'm not at liberty to discuss anything further at this time.
Was the law enforcement response at all slowed down because of Christmas and the holidays?
It wasn't slowed down on our agencies. I can only speak for myself, not the other officers, but a couple of nights I was going on to our sleep. We had constantly 24-hour around-the-clock watching the video. We had guys scheduled off for the holidays. Their chief, being me, ordered them in and apologized, and I've got not one squabble. We have a 14-year-old we got to find. So I've got nothing but praise for our department. It's not my department. They make me. They're my face. And it's heartfelt. I had to apologize to my grandkids yesterday because Papa wasn't really there. I was there, but I wasn't, because I was on the phone or taking cat naps. So it's your fault. You made me do this. You know that.
Just so we all have it, can you say and state your name? Spell it out for us.
Okay, my first name is Rob, R-O-B. I go by Rob. My full name is Robert, but I go by Rob. Last name is Hickman, Hickman.
Your chief, correct?
Correct.
So you might not be able to answer this necessarily, but on the way in, because we were running a little bit late, we saw a state trooper helicopter.
Correct.
Is that involved in the search, or was that, do you know if that
You came in late, didn't you? Yes, State Patrol has a helicopter here, and so does United States Border
And
Patrol.
that's for specifically for the search?
Yes, everybody you see in town right now
Yeah.
is here for this search.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
back here, right?
Yeah, what we'll do at 3 o'clock when you start coming back up here, come to the police department. Somebody will get you over here. Again, I apologize. I didn't realize council chambers was under. There have been a lot more room there. But if this works for everybody, we'll just meet back here at 3. If something happens between now and 3, please leave your number with dispatch. And I'm not going to do it 5 minutes. I will give you time to get up here. So, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.